Are the masks you wear every day stealing the true you? Do you feel trapped in a persona that doesn't belong to you, while your true essence slowly fades away? If the answer is yes, this video is for you. Today we'll talk about those masks we learn to wear, the toll they take on our lives, and above all, how to start removing them to finally live more freely and authentically. Stay with me, because together we will discover how to free up the energy you waste on pretending and transform it into pure strength to be who you really are. From a young age, we're taught, often unintentionally, to wear masks. Think about it. When you were a child and wanted your parents' approval, maybe you learned to hide your fears or anger to appear good and get a smile. Or, at school, how many times have you pretended to understand something that was actually confusing you, so as not to appear stupid in front of your classmates or teachers? These aren't bad actions, they're coping mechanisms. Society, family, culture, and our group of friends present us with expectations, models of how we should be, and to find our place, to be accepted, loved, or simply to function, we begin to build these characters. Imagine an actor preparing for a role. He studies the script, puts on a costume, changes his voice and posture. In a way, we do the same, only our stage is everyday life. We create the mask of the impeccable professional in the office, the perfect parent at home, the always available friend in the group. And these masks, initially, seem useful. They help us navigate the complexities of the world, avoid conflict, and feel safe. They're a bit like armor we wear to protect ourselves. They allow us to present ourselves to the world in a way we believe is acceptable, one that will bring us love, success, or simply fewer problems. But what happens when this armor becomes too heavy? What happens when you realize that the character you play has become more convincing than yourself? This is where the problems begin. Wearing a mask isn't free. It comes at a cost, a steep one, which we often pay without even realizing it. Imagine the distance between the mask you show the world and the person you truly are inside. The greater this distance, the higher the price we pay. Think about that moment when you are at a party. You smile, you joke, you appear happy and carefree, but inside you feel an emptiness, a tiredness, a deep sadness. That inconsistency, that having to maintain an image that doesn't reflect your true state of mind, is extremely tiring. It's like holding a constant weight in your hand without ever being able to put it down. The result? Stress. A constant drain that saps your energy, makes you irritable, and robs you of joy. Many of my clients tell me they feel as if they are playing a part in a movie whose plot they don't know, and whose script they didn't write. This feeling of falseness leads to profound dissatisfaction. You can have it all, a good job, a beautiful family, friends, but if you don't feel comfortable in your own skin, if you feel like you're living a life that isn't yours, everything will seem gray. It's like eating your favorite dish but without tasting it. This constant acting takes a huge amount of energy from you. The energy you could be using to create, to love, to explore, you spend on keeping your character alive. It's a constant drain on mental and emotional resources. And at the end of the day, or maybe the week, you find yourself drained, exhausted, feeling like you've wasted something precious. You ask yourself, who am I really underneath all this? And sometimes you can't find an answer. This is the real tragedy of masks. They distance us so much from ourselves that we risk losing ourselves completely. When we talk about authenticity, a huge misunderstanding often arises. Many people think that being authentic means always saying whatever comes to mind, without filters, being rude, saying what you think even if it offends or hurts others. But that's not the case at all. Authenticity isn't an excuse to be rude or insensitive. It doesn't mean flaunting every emotion or thought without regard for those around us. Being authentic doesn't mean telling your coworker that their idea sucks or telling your partner that you can't stand their new haircut. Authenticity is much more subtle and profound than that. It's a matter of internal alignment. Think of authenticity as reducing the gap between what you show the world and what you feel and think inside. It's not about completely eliminating social filters. Those are important for a civil and respectful coexistence. It's about eliminating those filters that suffocate you, that make you feel fake, that prevent you from expressing who you truly are in healthy and constructive ways. For example, if a friend asks you for a favor you can't or don't want to do, authenticity isn't telling them, "No, you're a burden," to their face. Authenticity means saying, kindly and respectfully, "Thank you for asking, but unfortunately I can't help you as much as I'd like right now because I have other commitments or I don't feel like it." You're communicating your truth, your limitations, without offending. You're honoring your energy and resources, instead of pretending to be the savior you can't or don't want to be at that moment. Authenticity is knowing how to listen to yourself. It's recognizing your emotions, your needs, your values, and then finding a way to communicate them or live them in harmony with the external environment. It's being true to yourself before being true to others. It's not a license to hurt, but a liberation to be. Okay, you understand that wearing masks is expensive, and that authenticity is a path of alignment, not of brazenness. But how do you remove these masks that have become a second skin? It's not easy, I know, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, a process, but you can start with small steps, with gentleness and awareness. Step 1. Identify your masks. This is the starting point. Where do you most often feel fake or uncomfortable? In what situations do you tend to hide your true opinions, feelings, or needs? Keep a journal. Write for a few minutes every evening. Write down when you felt inauthentic, what you said or did that didn't reflect who you truly were, and why you did it. You may discover that you're wearing the mask of a perfectionist at work, or a happy person with friends. Listen to your body. Masks create tension. Do you feel tense, with a knotted stomach, stiff shoulders, or a pounding head? These are signs that you're probably acting out. Take note of these moments. Ask yourself why. Once you've identified a mask, ask yourself why. Are you afraid of being judged? Of not being liked? Of not being enough? Of losing something? Understanding the root of the fear will help you disarm it. Step 2. Accept that you won't please everyone. This is one of life's most liberating truths. You can't please everyone, and trying to will only exhaust you and make you unhappy. When you free yourself from the need for approval from anyone, you open yourself up to the possibility of being loved for who you truly are. Start small. Choose someone you feel relatively safe with, a trusted friend, a family member. And in a small situation, try being a little more yourself. Perhaps, instead of agreeing on everything, express a small, honest difference of opinion with tact and respect. The gentle no. Learning to say no is a powerful act of authenticity. If someone asks you for something you don't want to do, instead of saying a forced yes and then mulling it over, try saying a gentle no, explaining briefly, if you wish, the reason, or without much justification. No, thank you, I can't right now. Confronting fears. Imagine the worst-case scenario if you were to be more authentic. What if someone didn't approve of you? Often, our fears are much bigger than reality. Step 3. Small acts of authentic expression. You don't have to turn your life upside down overnight. Start with small, almost imperceptible acts of authenticity. Express a genuine preference. If someone asks you what you want to eat and you say, "It's the same for me," but you actually have a preference, try stating it. "I'd like pizza today, if that's okay with you." Share a genuine emotion. If someone asks you, "How are you?" and you say, "I'm fine," when you're actually feeling a little down, try saying, "Today isn't one of my best days, but thanks for asking." You don't have to tell them your whole story, just be a little more honest. Wear what makes you feel good. Sometimes masks are also aesthetic. Wear a dress, a color you love, even if it's not what's expected of you in a certain situation, always within the bounds of common sense, of course. Remember, every small step towards authenticity is a victory. It's not a linear process. There will be days when you slip back into old masks out of habit or fear, and that's normal. Be kind to yourself and start over. While the cost of masks is heavy, the benefits of authenticity are light, liberating, and deeply gratifying. It's like lifting a weight off your shoulders you didn't even know you were carrying, and finally breathing deeply. The first, and most obvious, benefit is the release of an enormous amount of energy. Imagine how much energy you spend every day acting, maintaining an image, worrying about what others think. When you start to remove these masks, all that energy comes back to you. It's energy you can reinvest in what you love, in your passions, in your well-being, in the relationships that truly matter. It's like having a battery that suddenly charges faster and lasts longer. You'll feel less tired, less burdened, more vibrant and present. Life will no longer seem like an exhausting performance, but an opportunity to be yourself. Then there are relationships. Masks create barriers, not bridges. When you show yourself as you are, you attract people who are attracted to your true self, not your persona. This leads to much deeper, more genuine, and satisfying relationships. You'll no longer have to fear that people will discover the real you, because the real you will already be there, out in the open. Friendships will become more sincere, romantic relationships more intimate, family relationships more authentic. You'll understand that not everyone will appreciate you, and that's okay, because those who do will do so for the right reasons, and those will be the people who truly enrich your life. You'll finally be able to connect on a deeper level, based on trust and transparency. Ultimately, authenticity allows you to live a fuller and more meaningful life. When you're aligned with your values, desires, and true essence, you make decisions that are in tune with yourself. You no longer seek to please others or follow paths that aren't your own. You find your purpose, your voice, your place in the world. You feel more connected to yourself, to the world around you, and even to the universe. It's not a promise of a problem-free life, but a promise of a life where problems are faced with the strength of your true self, not with the weakness of a false identity. You will finally feel at home in your own skin, and there is no feeling more liberating and fulfilling than that. Remember, the journey to authenticity is a gift you give yourself, a gift that will allow you to flourish and live with a fullness you never imagined. It's time to remove the masks and show the world the wonder that is you. Now I want to ask you, what's a mask you feel like you wear more often in your life? And what small, tiny step could you take today to start showing a little more of your authenticity? Share it in the comments below.